Alright, chapter 5. Time to rag on more Fire Emblem games, I guess. So yeah, that's why I didn't like Fates. Maybe I'm missing out, who knows. Yeah, then there's the game nobody even knows about. Echoes. And I own it, but I didn't play it yet. Initially, I was not going to play it because I saw there were DLC classes. And that just sounded like some pay-to-win schlock. I'm like, nope, I'm not playing pay-to-win Fire Emblem. But apparently, in the base game, you would never even be able to use any of these level 3 classes anyway. It's more for like DLC content and grinding and stuff like that. I was like, oh well, I'll just pick it up. I got it super cheap because nobody bought it. And yeah. I don't know if it's any good. I may one day find out. That's probably the first real chapter here. We'll see how it is. It is kind of hard commentating and playing the game. I remember watching Game Grumps back in the day. It's so hard, you don't understand. I'd be like, yeah, whatever. But it is really, you know, even the simplest thing like preparations menu, I'm like, ooh, wipe the sweat off my brow, got that out of the way. So we'll see how I do here. All purchases are final, you know. Anyone who kicks the bucket is dead for good. I'll bait the archer over. Why not? You know, these guys are really strong on the right here. Spawn in. I might just give them the old Seth treatment. Just not even deal with it. And then the last Fire Emblem that I know of, well, that's been localized, is Three Houses, which I have not played. I don't have a Switch. I probably never will play it. Honestly, it looks like more degeneracy. It also looks more like Persona than Fire Emblem. Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, the Fire Emblem I know is dead and gone. It only lives on through the community and the older titles. Because you will never see another Fire Emblem like this. You're never going to see, you know, some lighthearted, tongue-in-cheek bandits and you know, goofy animations and stuff like that. No, it's all going to be waifu sim and sexploitation galore and marry your sister and all that crap. So yeah, I'm pretty much done with the newer Fire Emblems. If anything, I'll go back because I've yet to play through FE4. That is Genealogy of the Holy War. And I have played a chapter. I liked it. Again, I don't know why I stopped playing the games I like, but that was just excellent to me. Like, I felt like the writing and the gameplay was so interesting. It was so different from other titles. Like, the map was huge. It was so big. And the chapter was so long, you could save like any time, and you kind of had to, you know, it was like super long chapter. So I thought that was just really interesting. So that's one I will definitely go revisit. No question about it. I thought the translation as well. Now, I don't know what the original text was, but it certainly felt as though its translation was excellent. And that's not one I had to, thankfully, wait any amount of time for. Of course, I haven't played FE5 for the same reason I haven't played FE10. Here's my overbearing history of Fire Emblem. I just kind of play them on and off. I mainly play like FE8, do some modding and stuff. This is far and away not the first patch I've made for Fire Emblem. It's the first patch I've shared. You know, I'm always fiddling around with the game, you know. Different balance, different modernizations, things like that. FE Builder was a huge turning point, though. I was always copy-pasting other people's code. I'd just be so, please, please work. I hope I didn't mess this up in Hex Editor. Oh, it was so devastating whenever anything I really wanted to work. And I just couldn't figure it out. And there are patches in here that are that. So, like the fixed growth rates, I couldn't figure it out. I'm pretty sure that's one of them where I was just like, I want fixed growth rates more than anything in the world. Because random levels just drive me up the wall, you know? It's like, there's a difference between, like, you play like Final Fantasy 1 or something, and well, you can get like 13 to 16 strength, right? And it's like, well, you get 13 as opposed to 16. Not gonna make or break your game, you know. Here it's all or nothing, baby. You know, it's you get one strength or you get no strength. And it makes such an impact too. Like the levels are so important. You know, it's not like one strength of 100. No, it's like one strength. She's got 7 right now. That's a huge difference. So, yeah, I just couldn't figure out how to work it. You know, user error, obviously, but I don't know how to code or anything like that. So, when FE Builder came out, I was like, oh my goodness, this is a game changer. And it was, you know, I started making more mods and patches, and you're looking at one of many different attempts. He will live. Someone sits. Got him. Yeah, and not all the patches. I mean, I end up scrapping almost everything, and then taking what I learned and putting it in the new patch, but not all the patches are changes light. You know, one of them I'm using this patch as a base for is more of an overhaul. So it does change. Primarily, I'd say the thing it changes the most is character balance. Right, so Fire Emblem has this issue of giving you horribly underleveled characters when they join, you know, and they try to make it a non-issue by making the enemies really weak. And it works to some extent, you know, it's like, oh, I can still train these guys because the enemies are so weak, but that's not ideal, obviously. So yeah, this patch is aimed at making units a lot better. Someone like Nani, you know, should ideally be a good unit. It just isn't, you know, even even units that are objectively good or not bad, you know, like Loot. Loot's not a bad unit, necessarily. She comes at level 1, you know? At that point, my, you know, Franz, Vanessa, all those people are like level 6. It's like she's super underleveled. And just because the enemies are weak enough that it's still possible to train her doesn't mean that, you know, it's designed well or something. So... yeah, the patch aims to change that. It's not done. I sort of pick up and put down these patches sporadically. Oddly enough, I actually made this patch a while ago. I had mentioned I did an Ironman run on this patch a while ago. And I was testing the game. And also just seeing if I thought Ironman was fun, which I do. And, yeah, I was just kind of sitting there. I got some encouragement, you know, hey, you should go ahead and release the patch, you know, it's like, I just bottle it up, you know, if you had fun playing it, why not share it? That made sense to me. I didn't want to share without, showing it off a little bit, too. I know most, ROM hacks and stuff like that are, you know, oh, completely original game, or we, you know, completely overhauled everything. I'm pretty vanilla. You know, it's like, least amount of changes possible. That's where I'm like, yeah! I remember, you know, when I'm looking at mods for games, because I play a lot of games modded and stuff, you know, like Total War. One of my favorite medieval Total War mods. They have like all these mods. It's like, oh, this one turns it into, you know, Renaissance Warfare. This one is like a complete overhaul, adds all these new factions. And, you know, this one's Lord of the Rings, you know. My favorite one was still, like Gilded Vanilla, I think it was called. It was like, balances swords relative to other weapon types. I'm like, oh yeah. That's right up my alley, you know, just minimal changes, greatest positive results. So that's why this patch is like this, you know. It's like, well, you barely changed anything. It's like, exactly. Hopefully you guys enjoy that as much as I do. Yep. We'll get Joshua here. Should theoretically be improved, given that lances and axes are less good, relatively speaking, to swords. The gap has been reduced. So debating how many kills you have to Garcia here. I know I said I was doing Iron Man and, you know, this is not LTC, I'm just going along, but I'm also only so patient, so... yeah, I feel like you'd have trouble against that mercenary, though. Alright. I just found it weird how the music stays kind of muted. Unless you do that. So I think we will end up using Joshua. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think he's any good. Even with the change, I don't think he's anything spectacular, but Sword Masters are my favorite kind of unit, even though I don't think they're particularly good. I think Joshua's a good, cool character, even if I don't think he's particularly good. If ever there were a time to use him, though, you know, you'd think it'd be here. So we'll see. I think we'll end up using him. Certainly plenty of XP to go around at this point. Whoop. Oh, so if I was not going to fast forward. Typically I make liberal use of fast forward, but it's a little tacky and I end up just blazing through the chapters. And half this playthrough is me running my mouth, so you know, if you came here looking for expert gameplay, you know, you might be disappointed. If you find me entertaining, then more to come, I suppose. Alright. Feeling the animation putting me to sleep. Yeah, I will not be using the arena or the Tower of Volney. This is going to be a no grinding, anything like that. Definitely not a fan of doing that kind of stuff. As a kid, I did nothing but that. Game's too hard. I'm just going to sit in the arena for 6 hours. It's like, oh, okay. If you think that's fun. Yeah, I remember I'd get Ewan grind in the Tower of Volney next chapter. He's a summoner just soloing the map. I don't know why, but I just thought that was the funnest thing. I think that's common for a lot of people, so. Yeah. Not this time. Yeah, so we have the Draco shield. And again, as I mentioned prior, the previous strategy I had in my Ironman was give it all to Erica, because if she dies, it's game over. And if she lives, it doesn't matter how many other people die, as I also mentioned. So I might end up doing that again. I might not. A Jet Grub only gives 5 HP as opposed to 7, but it doesn't really change who you would use it on necessarily. Vanessa could definitely benefit. She's got really low HP. Defense is pretty decent, honestly. But yeah, I mean, Erica's HP is really low as well. And her defense is definitely lower. I mean, it was total overkill last time. And last time, the only person to have died was Vanessa. That being said, this time, you know, if the roles were reversed, oh, the only person who died was Erica. Well, that equals game over. So, just trying to avoid that here. Maybe I get to kill Joshua, actually. Yeah, if we're using him, we gotta give him a little more. See, even Joshua's defense isn't particularly good. Revenants just aren't good. Like, sword locked, foot locked, low durability. It's like everything you don't want. And they had to go and make them cool. Eesh. Alrighty. Just trying to think of who I'm going to be using in the later stages of the game. Definitely want to be using all the Cavaliers I get. Minus Amelia, I suppose. Ford, Franz, Kyle. I'll be using Vanessa. I might end up using Tana because, I mean, I really had a lot of XP to spare. So, you know, any concern I had, like, oh, maybe I can't train them all. I don't think that is necessarily valid at this point, having tested it. So, I mean, might as well use Tana then, right? Get another flyer. That's 5 units, you know, Erica. I'm gonna use pretty much every pre-promote I get. So, Sayla, Dusel, Seth. I think that's like 9 units I've mentioned. So debating Ines. I deployed him in my other Ironman, and he was just doing absolutely nothing the whole time. He did nothing. So I might not end up using him. I do intend to use Garrick. Tethys, the dancer, of course. It's like 11 units. I mean, if we're using Joshua, I guess he'd be like 12. Again, I didn't even know he's any good, but we'll see. I think that still leaves plenty of room. Most chapters let you bring upwards of like 15 units or something in the late game, I think. We're not really in any danger. I don't really intend to use Garcia long term. Everyone I'm talking about long term. Yeah, Garcia's speed is really lackluster. I'm obviously not training Ross. I have no intention of training any of the trainees. Doesn't look like I'm using any of the mages I have right now either. Oh, Ephraim, of course, I'm going to be using him. I mean, who else is there really? I'm not sure I'm going to use Cyrene. I'm not sure I'm going to use, you know, someone like Noel. I might be kind of low on magic users. I don't think you necessarily need a bunch of magic users. In fact, they're not terribly durable. And your units are so overstated, it's usually better to just match might with might and you'll win every time. But I think there could be merit to using someone like Noel. Just have another staff user on hand. He has access to dark tomes. Might be able to like Nosferatu tank, especially considering its strength or magic based weapon weight, because there's no strength. It's not like Shadow Dragon. So the magic stat ends up being used, and that makes dark magic significantly better because you're very often weighed down by the dark tomes, and here you might not be, which would be a huge boon. So I think I will use Noel. There's a lot of units already right there. Oh, Cormag Cormag's another really good unit. At this point, might have to start cutting some people. You know, I'm listing all these units, and then you think Joshua. It's like, I don't know about Joshua. Chapter 5X. Well, I think I'm actually going to end my first recording right there. And I hope you guys have enjoyed it so far. I'm having a lot of fun. And let me know your thoughts, because you know, this is my first time doing this kind of thing, right? Like, both in terms of like sharing the patch, you know, no one else has play tested it. I play tested it on normal. I didn't really change anything from then. You know, if you see something you just want more info on, you have a critique, just, you know, let me know. And same goes for the commentary. I haven't done anything like this before. I did do one one recording session. The mic quality was just that. It was terrible. So this is my first time sharing anything like this. So, you have any advice? You have anything you'd like to say isn't working or is really working? Just let me know. Let me know about the format. Planning on splitting the videos up, you know, 10-15 minutes, that kind of thing. And just seeing how it goes from there. So, hope you all have enjoyed watching thus far. I hope many of you have taken the liberty of downloading the patch yourself and trying it. I'm having a lot of fun. Hope you are as well, and hope to see you in the next one. See ya.